This is our first example. We are going to write a program that throws and catches an exception in the same method that is the main method. So write a Java program that reads a college courses department, for example ITCS, a course number, for example 114, and a number of credits, for example 3. Make your program throws and catches an exception in any of the following cases. The first case, if the department does not consist of exactly 4 letters, or if any of the letters is not exactly a letter. The second case, if the course number does not consist of 3 digits between 100 and 499 inclusive. When we say inclusive, it means 100 and 499 are part of the condition. Or if the credits are less than 0.5 or more than 6. After we throw an exception in any of these cases, we need to catch the exception and display the reason as a message. So let's go to JGrasp and implement this example. Here is the initial implementation of the exercise. We have the college as a string. We have the course number and credits as integers. We read each of them one after the other. So first we enter the course college. We read it as one word. And then we ask to enter the course number and we read it as an integer. And then we ask for the course credits and we read it as an integer. First, we need to throw an exception if the department does not consist of 4 letters. And to do that, we need some processing. For example, first we have to check the length, and then we have to check each individual character of the string that it should be a letter. We will implement this by a method. So we will go now down below the main method, and we are going to define a private static method that will return a Boolean variable, whether the input parameter is exactly 4 letters or not, and we are going to call it is 4 letters. And the input parameter will be a string, and we are going to call it college. So the first thing we need to do is to check the length of the input parameter college. So we will say if college.length is not equal 4, then it will return false. This is the first thing. Then we need to write a loop. If the input parameter is exactly 4 characters, then we have to go over these characters one by one and check that they are exactly letters. So we will write a for loop. For integer I equal to 0, I will be less than college.length I plus a plus, and inside the loop you already know how to process strings. We read each character at a time and save it in a variable using the method char@, and we use I as an index. So in every iteration of the loop, it will give us the character at that index, which is the loop variable I. Here we need to check for CH. If CH is a letter, and to check for a letter, we are going to simplify the things and we are going to check only for uppercase. So we say that if CH is greater than or equal to capital letter A, at the same time, CH is less than or equal to capital letter Z. So this is a letter. So how to check that if this is not a letter? So we will say that not, and we will put this condition between brackets. So here we say that if it is not an uppercase letter, then this method will return false. So if the input parameter is exactly 4 characters and all of them are letters, so what is left is that this method will return it true, that really the input parameter, all of the characters are letters. So let's go to our main program now. And here we are going to check whether the department consists of 4 letters or not. So we say if, and we call the method is 4 letters, and we supply college as an input parameter. And here we should say not. Why? Because we are going to throw an exception if the method does not return a true. In this case, we are going to throw an object of an exception of type exception. So we say throw new exception, and this exception is in fact the constructor of the class exception. And here we will supply a message by saying that the department does not consist of 4 letters. And in fact here we should remove S because we are using does not. So this is the message that we are going to supply to catch when this exception occurs. Now for the second one, we will say if, and then we need to write the condition. If the course number is less than 100 or course number is greater than 499. And remember that these are inclusive, so we have to put equal in both sides. And if this is the case, then again we are going to throw an object of type exception. So we say throw new exception, and inside we are going to write the exception message, and the exception message is the course does not consist of 3 digits between 100 and 499. Finally, we are going to check for the credits, and we will say if credits less than 0.5 or credits greater than 6. Then again we are going to throw an exception here, and we will say throw new exception, and the message inside for the exception will be that the credits are less than 0.5 or more than 6. So now we have created 3 exceptions on each of the following conditions. But to throw these exceptions and catch them, then we have to put these conditions inside a try statement. So here we will write a try, and here we will close the try statement, and here we are going to say catch, and we are going to catch this exception by the class exception, and we are going to call it exp, and we are going to accept any of these exceptions by using one catch. So the catch statement will receive the object that is created in any of these throw statements, and it will receive it by the name exp. So how to get the message that is supplied to the exception? We are going to use the exception method that is called getMessage. So here we will say system.out.println, and simply we are going to print exp.getMessage. So let us compile the program and check that it does not have any errors, and we can do that by formatting, and in the formatting everything is correct. So now we need to compile and see that it does not have any errors. It seems that there is a mistake or a syntax error. It says that college is not defined. Let us check for that. Let us check the spelling, and it seems here we are missing one E. Let us compile again. And also we have a mistake here. Also we are missing E. So let us compile again. And here credit we are missing S. Compile again. So we have some errors that we need to correct. In fact, we have a mistake here that this return should be outside the loop, and it should be placed outside the loop. So we are going to place it here. Compile again. So now the program is free of errors. So let us test the program with some inputs. Now the program is running. It is asking to enter the course college. Let us try ITC3. It is exactly 4 characters, but not all of them are letters. Press enter. The course number is 114 and the course credits is 3. So an exception has been thrown because the department does not consist of 4 letters. So how this message is displayed? In fact, when we created the object, the exception object, we supply this message as an input parameter to the constructor. And when the exception is called by the catch statement, the object is received by the catch statement by the name exp, and the message is obtained by using the method of this object getMessage. So getMessage will in fact give us the message that was created when the exception was created. Let us test it for another input, ITCS, and it will not be exactly 4 characters, 114 and 3, and again the same exception will be thrown. Let us now test it for the course number. So ITCS, and course number here we will say 900. So it's not in the range 100 and 499, and number of credits is 3. So another exception has been raised. The course does not consist of 3 digits between 100 and 499. Now let us test it for the number of credits, ITCS 114, and here we will give it the number of credits, let's say 0. And as you know that it is less than 0.5, so the third exception has been thrown, and the exception was the credits are less than 0.5 or more than 6. And this completes the implementation of the exercise.